We commence tonight's broadcast with news that St. Lucia police have begun a massive operation in the city designed to take back the streets from criminals. Police Commissioner Vernon Francois says the initiative has been dubbed Operation Restore Confidence. During the operation, police say they shot 2 young men who are now hospitalized. The 2 have been identified as 20-year-old Dane Augustine, alias Cyborg of Montjudor, and 24-year-old Shem Peter of the same area. The police also report recovering live and spent rounds of ammunition, drugs, and ski masks. DBS's Pete Ninval begins our news coverage.
Parts of Chaussee Road were inaccessible to vehicular and pedestrian traffic as heavily armed police took up their positions. No one was being let in, and those already in the area of the operation were not being allowed to leave. For the first time in recent memory, the lawmen had machine guns mounted on pickup trucks, and at least one of them had his identity concealed. Speaking later in an address to the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, the police commissioner said there was no crisis of confidence in the police with regard to confidential information, since people were happy to give anonymous tips, even naming the alleged criminals.
The problem, in my humble view, commences when you tell them that it may be necessary for police to record a statement from them, and that it may be necessary for them to appear as witnesses in court. It is at that stage panic sets in and they suffer from amnesia. It is clear that the problem is not necessarily one of lack of police trust, but one of fear of criminals.
The police commissioner disclosed that Operation Restore Confidence would continue for as long as it takes to bring gang violence under control, and he warned citizens to brace for inconveniences. The president of the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce said that law and order was a matter of urgency for the local private sector at a time when the island had already recorded 14 homicides so far for the year.
This is indeed a staggering number for a country the size of St. Lucia, with a population of approximately 170,000. This senseless and merciless killings must be stopped, and they must be stopped now. They must stop right now.
Just this week, Prime Minister Stephenson King, in an address to the nation, announced a 6-point plan designed to tackle crime. The Chamber of Commerce says it is fully supportive of the initiatives. For the DBS News World, Pete Ninval reporting.
And St. Lucia's National Security Minister has called on the media to act responsibly in reporting on crime. The minister says the media are giving too much airtime to criminals. We get the details from DBS's Don Nicholas.
The National Security Minister met today with Israel's roving ambassador to St. Lucia and 5 other Caribbean countries to discuss technical assistance to local law enforcement. The minister used the opportunity to dismiss reports that Israeli soldiers would be hired in the anti-crime battle and said the Israelis would only provide technical assistance in several areas, including intelligence gathering. But he also expressed concern about the reporting of crime by the media, suggesting that too much airtime was being given to criminals.
You remember last year what happened? When in a very irresponsible way, the media had this person, and you heard what he was saying on the media. He had more guns than the police, will do this. And what happened? What happened afterwards? And when people continue to, when people say with their mouth what's in their hearts. Okay? And so we have to be careful as a media what it is we allow people to be saying publicly and how we play this thing out. Because all of us, the same police officers that we want to allow people to say all those things about, are the same police we call when we're in trouble.
The obviously irritated minister also said that the media are giving voice to people who complain when the police take action, but who are not putting their appearance to condemn what the criminals are doing.
It's interesting that when the police have to shoot somebody to restrain them, that everybody sees when the police does a shooting. But everybody is complaining about the level of crime. The gunshots that are all over the place, all hours of the day and night, when people are feeling unsafe because of all that shooting. But nobody hears, nobody sees when all of that shooting is taking place. But people are complaining, what is the government doing about it?
The St. Lucia government has identified crime as one of its main priorities, saying that unless the country is secure and citizens feel safe, there can be no meaningful economic development. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas reporting.